What's good, Stay Trill gang, Murder gang? How y'all feeling? I'm feeling amazing. Hey yo, but nah, we're gonna be doing another reaction, another Baltimore reaction. Y'all love the Baltimore reactions, yo. Y'all love the Baltimore reactions. We're gonna be reacting to Montana Barnett. I guess that's his name. It say the most fed man in Baltimore. We gonna see what's up with him, see what he got going on and shit. We gonna see what Montana talking about. We gonna hop straight into it.
Today, the city's top cop says they caught Baltimore's top killer. In a news conference earlier today.
Oh yeah, before we even get into it, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, bro. Comment what state y'all in, where y'all watching this from. If y'all from Baltimore, comment your town. I said a town. Your neighborhood, you feel me?
Announced the arrest of 21-year-old Montana Barnett. Brian Kubler is here now to explain why the commissioner says the city streets are safer for this.
Montana Malik Barnett. It was this 21-year-old police say shot and killed Alfonso Williams on this part of West Lafayette Street 2 years ago. But they say it would be just one life he snuffed out in a neighborhood he suffocated in fear.
Barnett is an absolute poster child for what a repeat offender is in Baltimore City. We are certain he has been involved in numerous acts of violence, to include multiple shootings and multiple murders.
The city of Baltimore has built a reputation for itself as one of the most dangerous.
Just look at the city. You think this is a city that y'all want to be from? Y'all so fascinated. Y'all outsider. Y'all that's from other states. Y'all so fascinated without asking. Y'all so fascinated without culture and shit. This look like a city y'all want to be from.
The city of Baltimore has built a reputation for it.
All these Vegas and shit, bro. This what y'all want to do? Trade places with me then. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't regret being from Baltimore at all, bro. For the simple fact that I learned so much being here, bro. I don't think I would have learned no other place, you feel me?
As one of the most dangerous.
I learned to grow up at a young age to be smart as a bitch. Smarter, street smart. I'm book smart too, but street smart, bro, you gotta be street smart to be here, you feel me?
This is in America. Underneath the hard-hitting football and cold weather, Baltimore has a dark underbelly ruled by vicious drug organizations that terrorize the city and boost the crime rate.
Uzi. That's a pretty little. How many bodies y'all think that bitch got on?
Today's video was like Marlo Stanfield from The Wire in real life. He was the leader of one of the most violent drug.
Let me see what he's got. Montana, Timothy Terrell. Okay.
Operations in Baltimore and was killing people left and right with a smile on his face.
Oh, TTG, that's trained to go. TTG. I guess Montana was TTG. TTG, I believe they locked in with a whole bunch of niggas. I know they was locked in with YGG.
To have been involved in up to 19 murders and was convicted of 6 of them. In fact, the police named him the city's #1 trigger puller. The subject of today's video is none other than Montana Barnett, and today we're going to be telling him.
That was back in the day, the #1. I bet the #1 trigger puller nowadays is probably like 14, 15 years old. I'll tell you that. Probably 16, you feel me? Niggas be crash out.
But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Montana
This video,
Barnett,
you feel me?
also known by the nickname Tana, was born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1995. He grew up in an area of Baltimore called Sandtown, Winchester.
Oh yeah,
Sandtown, Winchester is one of the roughest areas in the whole city. According to BaltimoreCity.gov, over 50% of families there are living below the poverty line, and over 86% of children there were born to single-parent households. Growing up, Montana pretty much had to fend for himself. His father was a Jamaican immigrant and got deported when Montana was just 4 years old. His mother was always out roaming the streets and was rumored to be a drug addict. Baltimore is a...
That's really how it start, bro. That's really how that shit start. Your people's being a drug addict or just coming from a single mother that don't really discipline you, feel me? And if they try to discipline you, not listening, that's really how most of that shit started.
Full of drug dealers, and in an area like Sandtown, Winchester, those are the only people making real money. Naturally, a young boy without guidance like Montana would look up to them and aspire to be just like
And that's
them.
the problem. A lot of these young boys ain't got no guidance, bro. And that's why they
When he was
crashing
around
out how
7
they
to
do.
8
They
years
ain't got
old,
nothing to live for.
Montana and his brother named Terrell Seavels would get involved in the drug trade and start doing favors for drug dealers. Eventually, when they were young teenagers, a member of the Black Guerrilla family named Davon Robinson recruited them to run one of his drug operations in Sandtown. Over time, Montana and his brother would go on to start their own crew called TTG, standing for Train to Go. The TTG crew grew to over 300 members, and they were making over $50,000.
Bro. How the fuck? 50K? I mean, not 50K. 300 members? How do you get 300 members in line, bro? That's how you know niggas had motion, you feel me? Niggas had some type of motion. Some type of, you know what I mean? How the fuck you get 300 niggas to be on the same accord? But that's probably the reason they fought. The more niggas you bring in, the more risk it is, bro. And the more risk is somebody telling. One person could bring down a whole clique.
A week, selling drugs and doing murder for hire. Despite the money he was making, Montana wanted to be respected and feared by those around him. This would lead to him becoming more and more violent, and he would soon grow into a cold-blooded murderer.
Alfonso Williams.
On May 3rd, 2014, Montana would kill for the first time. On this day, two sisters were hanging out outside of their home in Sandtown when Montana walked up to them and made crude comments about them. He basically told them that he wanted to smash both of them, and he told one of them that their thighs were exposed and that she needed to cover up. The women were offended, so they chirped back at him. Montana then responded, telling them that he does what he wants. The girl's brother, named Alfonso Williams, was nearby, and he joined in to defend them. He told Montana, "Yo, you don't talk to my sisters like that. That's not the way you talk to them. They're not hood rats." Montana responded and said, "My bad," and that he was just playing. Alfonso then attempted to make peace by shaking his hand and inviting him to come over later that night to watch a fight. Hours went by and it was now nighttime.
What? Nah, I get making peace, bro, but not inviting them over, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I can't lie, that's some green shit. I get you wanting to make peace. Nothing wrong with making peace. It is what it is. He said my fault, you know what I mean? But inviting them over, that's a whole nother thing, bro. As soon as he heard that, he was probably like, oh yeah, his ass getting robbed. That's exactly what he thought. And that robbery probably went wrong. And he probably, hey man.
Alfonso walked out of his house to wait for the pizza delivery to get there, while Montana pulled up carrying a gun and shot him 9 times. Alfonso was shot in the chest.
My boy ain't even wanna rob him, bro. He ain't even wanna rob him. You just, man. We don't know the whole story though. He probably did try to rob him. We not gonna know the whole story.
Arms and neck,
That's what it sound like
was
to me.
transported to the hospital where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 23 years old. This would only be the beginning of Montana's killing spree.
R.I.P. Alfonso. The death of Terrell. Okay. Dang, bro.
Montana was close friends with a rapper named YGG Tay.
Yeah.
One of Tay's other friends, a man named Terrell Hellrell Jarrett, made the mistake of misplacing a substantial amount of the rapper's money. When Tay confronted him about it,
How you do that?
Hellrell proceeded to slap him. Following this incident, Tay would put thousands on Hellrell's head, and Montana would... Following this incident, Tay confronted him about it. Hellrell proceeded to slap him. Hellrell Jarrett made the mistake of misplacing a substantial amount of the rapper's money. When Tay confronted him about it, Hellrell proceeded to slap him.
You slapped him? That's basically telling the nigga like, yeah, I took your money. Come do something about it. Yeah. That's basically what you just told this nigga. You slapped him about his own money. YGT at that. You know this nigga not no whore. What?
Following this incident, Tay would put thousands on Hellrail's head, and Montana would allegedly collect it. On June 29, 2014, Hellrail was playing dice on a sidewalk in the 1300 block of Ward Street when a gunman strode up to him and opened fire, striking him in the chest and stomach. Hellrail was taken to the hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 21 years old. Montana is believed to have been the gunman in this incident and the one that got paid.
Allegedly.
Unfortunately, the killing would have stopped there.
I ain't gonna lie, everything, I ain't putting the blame on nobody in here, bro. Everything is gonna be allegedly, bro. For the simple fact that I don't even know if this nigga know his shit. I'm just watching the video. I can't believe everything. I'm sorry. Allegedly.
4 months later, 2 other local
R.I.P. His name Hell, bro. R.I.P. bro.
Bankers, James Blake and Ronald Langley were
R.I.P.
killed.
James, too.
Their mistake had been trying to kidnap Milk, a girl named Roger Taylor, who worked closely with a major drug importer named Shango Owens and was financing YGG Tay's career.
DMV, did you know UMJC tuition is low cost and you pay $0 for digital materials in most...
Okay, baby, I don't care about none of that.
His career. The kidnappers grabbed the wrong person. They kidnapped a guy named Scratch, real named Darius Singleton, who was Tay's friend and had borrowed Milk's car. After realizing they had the wrong guy, Blake and Langley stripped Scratch, took his money, and let him go. When word reached Milk and YGG Tay, a bounty was offered. Both Blake and Langley were shot dead. James Blake was just 24 years old.
Wait, I didn't get that story.
After realizing they had the wrong guy, Blake and Langley stripped Scratch, took his money, and let him go. When word reached Milk and YGG Tay, a bounty was offered. Both Blake and Langley were shot dead. James Blake was just 24 years old, and Ronald Langley was just 22 years old. Montana and another TGG member named Binky.
It's crazy as shit, because in that picture, he looked so innocent,
Langley
bro.
were shot dead. James Blake was just...
I'm thinking he really be innocent of the story. Hell no, you're in the streets too. You'll try to strip somebody. You'll try to kidnap somebody, hold him for ransom or some shit. Realize it was the wrong nigga. Stripped him, and then let him go. After that, he got wet.
4 years old, and Ronald Langley was just 22 years old. Montana and another TGG member named Binky, real named John Harrison, were named by witnesses and on social media as the likely triggermen. Langley was set on fire afterwards. His blackened remains were discovered in November behind a West Baltimore elementary school. The killing would continue. On January 4th, 2015, Montana and Binky were driving down the 1100 block of North Woodier Street when they spotted a BGF member named Beezy, real named Brian Chase. Montana and Binky had been looking for Beezy because he told someone that there was money on Binky's head. This enraged members of TTG and made them want to kill him. When they spotted Beezy, Binky hopped out of the car and shot him multiple times. After being hit, Beezy started to crawl away towards a fenced yard when Montana and Binky pursued him and finished him off. Beezy was shot a total of 14 times. He would later be discovered by the police and transported to the hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 32 years old. Montana and other members of TTG would follow this incident with a horrific broad daylight triple homicide. In June of 2015, an attempt on Montana's life was made. One day, he was riding a dirt bike in the streets when bullets flew by him. Fortunately for him, none of them struck him. Montana believed that a BGF member named Dirty, real named Lamont Randall, had sent the shooter to try to kill him. He would proceed to gather up a crew of TTG shooters to go and kill Lamont. On July 7, 2015, they found him. On this day, Montana and his TTG crew pulled up in 2 vans in the 900 block of West Fayette Street and spotted Lamont in a crowd of people. One shooter hopped out of each van and shot into the crowd, trying to hit Lamont. Lamont was shot 17 times, but 3 other innocent people were hit in the crossfire. A woman named Jacqueline Parker was shot 11 times, and a man named Gerald Thompson was shot 19 times. A fourth victim named Ashley Johnson was shot as well. Lamont, Jacqueline, and Gerald would all tragically be pronounced dead. Lamont was just 39 years old, Jacqueline was just 53 years old, and Gerald was just 34 years old. Ashley survived her injuries. Montana was believed to have been paid $10,000 for being one of the gunmen in this murder. Before finally getting caught, Montana would be linked to one more murder.
Yo, 10K and make a lot of niggas do a lot of shit.
Montana and TTG were even willing to kill members of their own crew if they felt they had been crossed. A TTG member named Thug, renamed Antonio Addison, had been associated with a man named Andrew Johnson. TTG believed that Andrew was cooperating with law enforcement, so they wanted to kill Antonio just for associating with him. On May 25, 2016, Montana and TTG members found Antonio in front of his grandmother's house in the 1200 block of North Carey Street when they shot him multiple times. He was taken to a hospital, but he was tragically pronounced dead at just 22 years old. Montana had been quoted by an informant as having laughed about the murder and saying that Antonio deserved it. Montana had consistently been named by witnesses as the gunman in murders, but the police could never get enough evidence to charge him. Eventually, this would change, and
My man said charged with first degree and second degree murder, first degree and second degree assault, firearm use and commission of a felon, handgun on person, reckless endangerment.
would finally be
I
brought
wonder
to
if that's
justice.
just all his shit they ever got, or if that's just one situation.
Montana was officially arrested on
Look at the
August 19,
police officer, what the
2016,
hell?
while coming out of a movie theater. He was 21 years old at the time of his arrest. He was charged with the murder of Alfonso Williams, and the police were trying to find enough evidence to charge him with over a dozen more. In the official announcement of his arrest, the police called him the city's #1 trigger puller. In early 2017, Montana would be released from jail by accident due to a mistake by the employees. While he was in jail, the feds decided to pick up his case. Due to the feds picking up his case, his state charges were dropped. The employees working at the jail didn't realize the federal indictment was in place, so they just let him go, saying that he no longer had state charges. Rather than flee the country, Montana went to a Gervonta Davis fight in Brooklyn and posted a picture of himself at it on Instagram. The police were able to track him down and posted a picture.
What? See Pug on there. What? Ain't no way. What year was this?
Himself at it on Instagram. The police were able to track him down the next day and rearrest him. The employees at the jail were suspended afterwards. Montana was suspected of many murders, but the police were able to gather enough evidence to officially convict him of the murders of Brian Chase, Marquez Jones, Lamont Randall, Gerald Thompson, Jacqueline Parker, and Antonio Addison.
Dang.
Montana wasn't the gunman in the March 2015 murder of Marquez Jones like he was in all the others, but he was charged for being the getaway driver. Montana was ultimately sentenced to life in prison.
This Tana, I seen a picture of this nigga recently.
For being the getaway
This nigga
driver.
definitely got big.
Montana
He got life. I seen a picture of this nigga recently. I don't know where at.
ultimately sentenced to life in prison. Once again, this lifestyle just feels so pointless. You create a drug empire and make all this money, but you kill so many people and destroy so many lives in the process that you can't live peacefully.
Exactly. If you take a life, you will never live peacefully through the name of Jesus, bro. Never. But nah, that's gonna wrap it up, though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Tana, I don't know if all this shit true. I'ma say allegedly, but damn, you feel me? Damn. Nah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna react to some more shit. And now I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace.